Sirius is a super rare rarity light cruiser from the Royal Navy, and is a part of the Dido class of light cruisers. She was originally available during the Winter's Crown event and later light construction, but is now only available from the Medal of Honor shop for 80 medals or the Medal of Honor requisition. Sirius was launched from the Portsmouth dockyard on the 18th of September 1940, commissioned on the 6th of May 1942, decommissioned in 1949, was placed out of service on the 14th of March 1951, and scrapped on the 15th of October 1956. Sirius did the usual tasks a British light cruiser did in the Second World War. Here are her more interesting exploits. Took part in the Battle of Skirky Bank, the last naval battle in the Mediterranean Sea, where she and the rest of Force Q sank 4 troop carriers and 1 destroyer, heavily damaging another destroyer and 2 torpedo boats. Conversely, HMS Quinton was sunk as well. Was hit by a 250 kg bomb off the coast of Carpathos, and waited in the East Task Force Reserve Fleet during Operation Overlord. In her character art, drawn by Kinkora, Sirius wears an open-top dress with black straps that connect to her choker, which itself has a metal band and anchor hanging off of it. The boob cup of the dress has black stripes where the nipples would be, and a ruffled top as well. White sleeves with ruffled cuffs, a black maid skirt with white interior skirt that has ruffles at the bottom, white apron, lace headband, white thigh highs, black slip-on shoes, and a red ribbon that connects her thighs. Her rigging consists of a large golden sword that she holds behind her back with her left hand, as well as 3 armatures. The armatures to her left and right both have ship hulls at the front with wooden decks, red hulls underneath, and 2 dual-barreled naval guns behind the decks, with the right side also having a triple torpedo launcher. Directly behind her is another dual-barreled gun and a smokestack. In her voice lines, voiced by Ruiko Aoki, who also voices Rina Tada in Idolmaster, Air Groove in Uma Musume, Nene Onamine in Komi-san, Eclair Saito in Shield Hero, Fenil in Handyman Saito, Marin in Hyrule Warriors, M500 and M590 in Girls Frontline, and Tressa Corazon in Octopath Traveler. Sirius often calls the commander Honorable Master.
誇らしきご主人様、今日は何をお勉強なさるのですか？文学教養、平坦軍学、芸術百般、それとも男女のまぐわいということにご興味が？お掃除ですか。戦闘ならご期待に添える働きをさせていただきます。誇らしきご主人様、どんなことがあってもご一緒します。誇らしきご主人様、バランスの取れた食事は健康の肝要でございます。ですから、シリアスの料理の腕がお気に召さないからといって、食事を取らないのはおやめになってください。誇らしきご主人様。どうか胸を張り、その輝く姿で世界を照らしてくださいませ。シリアスの誇らしきご主人様。
At level 125 with max affinity and enhancements, Sirius has 3,831 HP, 153 firepower, 163 torpedo, 393 AA, 185 reload, 114 evasion, light armor, 32 speed, 173 accuracy, 70 luck, 166 anti-sub, and consumes 11 oil. Sirius has 2 skills and an AoA, which focus on buffing herself and others. Sirius's first skill, Mark of Sirius, at level 10, increases the aviation of all carriers and light carriers in the same fleet as her by plus 10%, and increases their hit rate against destroyers, light cruisers, and heavy cruisers by plus 10% as well. Sirius also gives herself plus 7% firepower, torpedo, and reload for each carrier in the same fleet as her, maxing out at plus 21% firepower, torpedo, and reload. Her second skill, Cover Fire, at level 10, increases Sirius's firepower by plus 20%. The recommended equipment for Sirius is the twin 138.6mm MLE 1934 for a fast-firing gun that is great against all armor types, the 533mm improved quad-mag torpedo, as it's the best homing torpedo currently, the twin 76mm RF Mark 37, currently the best AA gun for the Vanguard fleet, the repair toolkit and high-performance steering gear for passive healing and a boost to evasion, and the crossbow for a buff to AA. Sirius works best as a support ship in a carrier-centric fleet, and doesn't really have any restrictions on being a mob or a boss fleet ship, or positioning, but probably not in the tanking position. This is due to her S1 giving a plus 10% buff to hit rate and AVI for carriers in the same fleet as her, as well as a up to plus 21% buff to her firepower, torpedo, and reload stats if there are 3 carriers in the same fleet as her, not to mention the plus 20% firepower buff from her S2. She's also relatively easy to obtain in Limit Break, given that she's available from the Medal of Honor shop, meaning that there's no real gacha to get her. But, at least in my opinion, 3 carrier fleets aren't great compared to 2 carrier 1 battleship fleets, due to the lack of passive shelling and the comparatively lower AA screening that having a 3-stack carrier main fleet provides. The buffs that Sirius provides aren't going to make too much of a difference at plus 10%, meaning you're also going to be bringing other carrier buffers, which you're likely to do anyways, just to get some halfway decent buffs. You're merely only putting her in a carrier-centric fleet for that up to plus 21% buff for herself. The firepower buff from both of her skills also isn't going to go too far as well, since light cruisers mainly exist to be AA walls more than damagers. Overall, medium to maybe medium low priority to raise. Thank you for watching. Please follow my Twitter and Blue Sky for updates, and please check out my other Arknights and Uma Musume videos as well.